Yes, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. Seagull Talks Football. We're back again with another video. And if you guys haven't already seen the new setup, the reason being we got a channel sponsor for the until the end of the year, ladies and gentlemen. We got no one better than Infinity Shield VPN. They are one of the best VPN providers. And also, if you guys don't have a VPN and you're out somewhere and you just need it for one day, you can scan this QR code and get a free VPN. Plus, if you want to sign up for their deals, they got some wonderful deals. You can get it for a month for less than a cup of coffee. You can get it for a week. You can get it for a year. You can get it for multiple years. And also, you can get it for 30% off using my code EGAL30. But of course, this is the channel sponsor, so support the channel. Check out the sponsor. If you guys need a free VPN, go check it out. But before we go any further, I got a wonderful panel for you guys today. I got 4 guests. I got my boy Daps in the building. I haven't had Daps on its stream on my channel in forever. Welcome
I feel
back,
like this, bro. This is a setup as well, isn't it?
Big up to you, man. How have you doing well? Nothing like your setup. Nothing like your setup.
I mean, no. When I say a setup, I mean I'm on an Arsenal channel, and you've gone and got 2 Tottenham fans. It's a setup.
You know what, Daps? Only the best. Only the best can come on when you're around.
That's it's good to be on here because people on Never Foul, some of the comments get our relationship so twisted.
Not only you, people think me and Deji beef each other. Deji's my guy. Deji, what's good, bro?
Yeah, bro. Thank you, Gal. You know what? You've become even more of my guy tonight because I've been trying to look for Daps all over the place. Like, where's Wale? I've called the police.
Where's Wale? Isn't he a rapper?
Services. I've called bare people. Daps is not answering my phone calls. Nothing.
Hold on, Deji.
Hold on. I've had to come on a Gal's channel to find
Deji,
you. Don't worry. It's gonna be a biggie, but Gal, big up to you,
no,
Deji. Like and subscribe.
Deji.
Daps ain't going nowhere.
Dejinda, you will finish right. So if you're gonna say things,
it's good to see you.
Great to see you. But if you say things, things, I hope they're truthful. So when did you ring me, please?
Well, I've been
because I've got my call register, bro. Hold on. No.
To be honest,
Deji, have you messaged my phone or rang my phone, or have you asked Cass where's Daps? Which one?
Can I be real? I miss you, bro. That's it.
Oh, it's what it's. Listen. Yeah, so when you say
you see a guy that he's not showing, man, there's no love coming back. I just told the brother that I missed him.
You already know there's love.
Man is trying to skip past it. Don't worry, bro. We're getting into it tonight. Don't worry.
There's too much love. Do you know the one thing? The one thing that I was actually going to bring up here. Do you know the funniest thing is? And our TikTok guy turned it into a TikTok, and I gave my team the kiss of death because in a conversation with you, and I swear down, it was before we went on our fucking 4-game loss, I said, Deji, football is not a 1/2 game, it's 2 halves, because you were looking good in 1 half, then looking shit. Since then, that is exactly what we've done in every single fucking game. Look good in 1 half and then lost the game in the second half. And we're thinking, but both listen, it's a different ball game at the weekend. Very different ball game.
So you're saying you're jinxing your team, Daps? Is that what you're saying?
Do you know? I don't know if you know this yet, but so obviously this season I've started doing watch-alongs. But I don't know if I've said to you before, I never. Like when we were in a title race with Liverpool years ago, I kept wearing City tops or City tracksuits on the day of games, and we kept losing, right? So I was like, and since then, the only merchandise I will ever wear on the day of the game is a pair of socks that like I've worn. And we lost the FA Cup final. I had them on. I've thrown them away now, because I'm proper superstitious. When we were playing Brighton, I said, do you know what? I feel confident. I'm wearing a City top. Did a watch on wearing a City top. We fucking lost. So
do you not wear City tops unless you're going to the game? I do,
but not on the day. No, I don't wear them to the game ever. So I wear City tops a little bit.
I'm not superstitious, you know.
I am. I like, so I can wear City. I can wear City stuff, but on the day of the game, I can't wear a top on the day of the game. And like, even to the point where the day of the Champions League final, I came out of my hotel. Me and Steve were about to get in a taxi to the ground, and I realised I had a top on that I'd worn at the Bernabeu when Real Madrid beat us. So I said, I've got to go and get changed. Went upstairs, put a different top on, then realised I'd worn that last game of the season when we lost to Brentford, so I had to go and change that.
One second,
superstitious.
let me just stop you there. Everyone in the chat and Deji, let me know. Do you, and of course, Daps just said he believes in superstitions. Do you believe what you say or do has an impact on your team's results? Let me know, guys, because I don't think what I say or what I do has any impact on Arsenal winning, losing, or drawing, or Bukayo Saka missing a penalty, scoring a penalty. I just don't think I have. I just don't think I have any power or any.
So there's a difference here. Hold on, there's a difference here. Yeah, what I'm talking about right now is superstitions. Yeah, and that's not me saying I have a power. It's weird. Yeah, it's just a superstition, right? But let me ask you a different question. Do you think, and I'm not meaning you individually, but do you think as a whole that footballers pay attention to social media?
Yeah, to a certain degree.
Yeah, because I can tell you factually, like not me personally, but someone I know, they get messages off of players who are bringing up things that have been spoke about in social media. So they do pay attention to it. How much of an impact? But
okay, I definitely do think some of the Arsenal players probably seen me and Brendan fighting after the City game.
Do you
him calling the players pussies? Yeah, I do think they seen that.
I think some of them, yeah.
I do think they see when one of us goes super viral and it goes like
you have to go proper viral. Of course,
let's be honest. They've all seen. All the Tottenham players have probably seen expressions at some point or the other.
A million%, bro.
All the Man City guys,
bro, expressions.
Guys,
bro,
all the Arsenal guys have seen AFTV. But
expressions is at the point of he's like
expressions.
He's gone, bro. He's gone. Like, they've definitely seen him. They probably laugh at expressions, man.
They probably love him. But let's go to this stuff first.
Is George here yet? George's not here.
No, George was here. I don't know what happened. He was here.
Shit, internet always happens with George.
He's restarting his laptop. He literally just messaged me. Let's start with Arsenal before we talk about City and Tottenham, because that right there is the main event. It's the game of the week. It's the Premier League is back, and I think the first place where we should start is how shit has this international break been? Be honest, guys. This has probably been the worst international break. I didn't watch any football.
I didn't do what, like me and Cass had said about doing watch-alongs on TIFO. We didn't do one because I looked at the games and was like, none of them really looked that spicy. I think the fact that all of our players, like most of our, I think all the top players, like knew what it was. I've been told before, Pep had told the City players, like, and Pep's one that usually encourages the players to go and play for their country. Pep had told all the players, like, right now, this is not country before club. This is club before country because these games aren't that important and where we are. And bro, do you know what? I hope that in FA, whoever it is, UEFA, whoever looks after these international fixtures, look at it and think, do you know what? This is going to happen. This is going to happen more and more and more. Yeah. If we keep piling on these games, because you've got to remember, it's the clubs that pay the wages of the players, right? It's a club that risk their assets, every single international break. And the fact that Pep, as an ex-player that encourages players to go and play for their country, says it's all about pride, is saying, nah, this time you don't go, that's going to happen more and more and more and more. Like,
tell me.
It is.
And people, do me a favor, please hit that like button. Deji, what about you? Did you watch a single game during this international break?
Have you got any internationals at your club, Deji?
We do, mate. We have Solanke, so calm yourself down. Stop shaking your bum. Look, for me, everyone knows I hate internationals. I think it's rubbish. I think it's dry. I don't even pretend to be entertained by it. My idea is...
Imagine Solanke was the international player you drew for, by the way. Of all your players, I said, have you got any international?
He can't say Bentancur. He just
Solanke plays.
Of all the players, is that what you're picking? Of all the internationals, you're picking?
You asked me a question. I gave you one straight back.
It's just an interesting one. Like
he said because he's English.
How many caps has Solanke even got?
Bro,
that's his first cap since 2021.
I want to see my striker in the England team doing his thing. The only thing I would say about the international break that I want the UEFA, because I know UEFA follow you, Regal, and FIFA. So let's give them some thought. Yeah. So look,
they follow you.
The whole Nations League is equivalent to to the Europa Conference League. It's rubbish. No one gives a
Yeah.
damn about it. Yeah. So let's spin it. I actually think what would be more exciting. First and foremost, I do agree with Daps. Player welfare above anything. I don't want to see my players. I don't want to see any player who is at 40, 30% simply because they've played too many games. They're human beings. They're not robots. And we want to see the best players in the world play the best football. It doesn't, I'm not excited. I don't think anyone wants to see Saka hobbling on the pitch or Haaland hobbling because they're suffering from fatigue or they're carrying a knock. That's not football for me. The other thing is, I don't know why we can't just have a straight knockout. That would be more exciting. Get all, so let's say you're doing because I don't, first of all, I don't like the tier, how you tier people up. I don't like it. I think you should run randomly.
Oh, it's weird. I don't even get what
the whole logic, Deji, is to basically have something to play for these international.
Yeah, basically what it is because when we were
younger, trying to give some purpose.
They're trying to make the friendlies more relevant, but it's like just cut them out because there's more tournaments as it is, and it's the thing is with anything, if you get too much of something, it dilutes it, right? And it is like the knock-on effect is it dilutes the European. Right now, all of a sudden, the Euros aren't as, I'm not saying they're the most important thing, but they're not as important because we're used to seeing England play Holland more regularly. Therefore, it's not as important now. Like, it dilutes it a bit.
Enough about the international break. Let's talk about Bentancur. Your boy got done. My man's banned for 7 games. Yeah,
I mean, look, let's be real. People, I think this is quite funny as well because Gal, you talk about how your club is being targeted by refs. And if I wanted to take it there, I could easily say Tottenham Hotspur has been targeted.
There's a certain club.
What I would like to know is what is the difference between Bentancur and what he did regarding Son and Enzo on the party bus?
One second. I did research on this.
It's because it's bullshit.
Let me tell you this. Bentancur went on TV after the game and compared the audience. He compared the audience that was watching the game, the South Korean audience, to his teammate Son, and they took that as racist for saying 2 Asian people look alike.
But it's right. The whole thing is this is where overall So that got an extra because it was on TV. Turned it from 6 games to 7 games. But Simon Jordan said something on TalkSport that was true today. In this day and age, like whether it be on TV, YouTube, radio, whatever, even if he said it in an interview and it went viral on Twitter, that probably has more fucking impact than it does on TV, right? Fact. So that's one thing. Second thing, the reason why he has been like he's got this and Enzo hasn't apparently is because of the timing, right? The Enzo's was Bentancur's, I think it was just before or just after he linked up with the national team. Therefore, after
they won,
it fell into a different jurisdiction. So it's been addressed by the Premier League as opposed to Enzo's is being addressed by or should be addressed by UEFA, right? Because it's like, Enzo was on international duty, whereas Bentancur had finished international duty and was now back.
No, he was still in Uruguay.
Hold on. Listen, I'm telling you, I'm not saying this is how I see it. The reason why it has been, and it's bullshit. Like, it's complete fucking bullshit.
Can I just be real?
Someone in international football has been slowing that. But the other thing for me is, like, so it's all mental because ultimately Enzo's was the one that caused the biggest outrage, right? It caused the biggest outrage. Now, directly at the same time as the Enzo one, remember Rodri sang a song about Gibraltar being Spanish and not English, right? And Rodri got a 2-game international ban for that because it was, and ultimately it was very obvious that the Argentinian FA had gone, well, if you're looking at Enzo, you need to look at Rodri. Rodri's got done with a 2-game ban, but it's all. This is where UEFA, FIFA, Premier League.
Can I just be real though? I hear what you're saying. I just want to say this again on Daps. And someone
regardless, if one person is going to get banned, the others should.
Racism is racism. That is the bottom line. There's no bending it left, bending it right. The truth of the matter is both were away on international duty. one
Yeah.
caused outrage. It doesn't matter if there was no outrage. If you got wind that there was racist comment, remember where the whole national team of France were pissed off and blocking my man. Son was like, okay, you made a mistake. Let's move on. So for me, the only way that I can judge this is that there are standards. And you know what is at play, Daps? And it's the thing and the reason why me and you go toe to toe, but it's all love at the end of the day. I actually think
don't go toe to toe.
I actually think there's a brown paper bag involved. I believe the brown paper bag is involved. Let me tell you, if you're
hold on, we got to play a band just to let you know. We got Rodri was banned for 2 games.
I was reading the other day the amount of money that Chelsea have spent on the Bowley. They've spent the most. I think they've spent the equivalent of 2.6 billion.
But you know why they're allowed? They have no debt.
When you're spending that kind of moolah, you can give a little call and say, you know what, please don't make this as bad as it is. And I don't give a damn unless you're some holier than thou. That little phone call that is followed by a wire transfer is enough to go from 7 bans to 3. Whereas at Spurs, Daniel Levy is not making any bloody phone calls.
But the mad thing is, but Daniel Levy's
what we are doing is publicly
this is where I don't know. Like, I wanted to say something there, but I feel like I won't be consistent. I actually think Daniel Levy is a very good businessman, right? He's very, very good. And Daniel Levy definitely gets involved in the dodgy shit because it's Daniel Levy that is one of the leading people against Man City. But I don't know, man. Like, even if you look at little things, like there's definitely some weird shit going on with FIFA at the moment. If you look at the fact that FIFA are anti a club, so say City Football Group, yeah, and we own Manchester City and we own Girona, and FIFA are very much against 2 teams that are owned by the same person being in the same tournament. But FIFA have just allowed 2 clubs from Mexico that are owned by the same person to be registered in the FIFA World Cup. Why? Because they're getting money out of it. So FIFA are doing some, like, and this is the whole thing. We all know FIFA and UEFA both went through that period where they were all dodgy as shit. Everything's changed. Everything's still dodgy. That's football, bro. Like, that is football.
That is football. Well, guys, let's get.
You know what? I think the more I know we're going to bring in my guy.
Yeah, we're going to end this topic.
For me, my whole issue with life in general and with people and things, and I think they got to look into this, and it's a plea. All we want is treat everyone with the same energy. Good.
Amen.
Or otherwise.
All right. Let me ask you guys this. We got 40 more minutes. Do we have 10, 15 minutes where we can talk on Arsenal quickly? Because I want to ask this.
You're relevant.
I want to ask you guys. You guys are genuinely guys who, whenever I'm on a stream, I seem like I'm in opposition against you guys, and I have to defend my club. So I just want to hear your takes. I don't even want to have to defend anything. I just want to hear your honest opinions on the state of Arsenal right now. And do you see Arsenal turning around their season? Because Nottingham Forest could be the beginning of something good, or it could be the end of our season.
I'm going to steal it. Can I go first? Is that all right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, you know, Igal introduced me as his friend today, which is the first time, by the way. So I'm delighted to be your friend, Igal. I would just like to say I told you so. I told you from day dot before the season started that I could see what was coming your way. You obviously were doing a Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder. You've got sunglasses that you can't see out of. And so it was my job to be your friend and to show you what could be seen. Arsenal's in the mud, bro. The bottom line is you're in the mud. There's no guarantee that you're going to beat Nottingham Forest. The issue that you have is that, 1, you rated the players better than what they were, but 2, you didn't buy a striker. And I think for me, that's going to bite you guys in the tushy. The other thing is that makes you guys slightly better than Spurs is where we have Timo Werner. You have 3 Timo Werners in Raheem Sterling, Jesus, and Martinelli. So for me, bro, I think this is the beginning of Martinelli. This is
what about Jesus in the other one then?
This is the bit. Well,
you only defended Martinelli.
This is it. Like, you guys ain't challenging, and it's good to see that we're back where we always knew we were, which is that we are cut from the same cloth and we're much of a muchness. That's all I wanted to say. We are much of a muchness. There's none of this.
Can I come in
Let me
here?
let me just say what up to George. Stop, you go last on this.
Go on, George. George can go next.
What's
Yeah,
this,
so being a
can I just say, this guy's shaking his bum like Deji always talks about. That's why I was saying. I thought it's quite relevant.
No,
come on. One of these and send you it, Deji.
Nah, well, for me,
George.
being a professor of hatonomics of Arsenal, you know, like, I mean, I'd like to think that I do a lot of research into Arsenal to make sure I know what I'm talking about. And as Deji said, we've done a lot of research and we told you last season. And that, I mean, again, we've been streaming for a few years now. We've been streaming since Arsenal and Tottenham are doing the top 4 races together. And the one thing I've maintained over all these years is this Arsenal team cannot get over the line. They've shown their ass far too many times. They showed their ass that season when you couldn't beat us to get top 4 when you had the better squad. And then the next season again when you were so many points clear of Man City, and again you dropped it. I just look at this Arsenal team.
They did get top 4 over you when you had the better squad.
Let him land the punchline.
They didn't. That's what you would say.
That one season where they came in on the last day of the season, I'd say you had the better squad that season. Remember when they were?
I wouldn't say so. When we had Conte, first year Conte, half.
No, I mean it before then.
No, George, you were about to say something. What was the punchline?
Anyway, carry on.
Arsenal, where I was getting was Arsenal can't get over the line. This season is just the squad showing itself up, and most importantly, Arteta showing himself up. He's tried to change. He's trying to rectify the fact that he's acknowledged this team can't get over the line playing the way that you guys played. You know, being on the front foot, trying to outscore teams, trying to be better than every team on the pitch. You realize you can't maintain that across the season. The level of your players isn't there. He's tried to adapt that with the squad, with that going so defensive, but it's come back to bite you now because he's put so much focus on the defense, you know, bringing players into defense, bringing a lot of players in those positions, similar to what Pep done. Again, he's trying to be like Pep so much that he took away the onus from the attack where all the problems lie. And we've told you since last season, yes, you may not have had, you may have scored more goals than most teams, but Havertz was never going to maintain the amount of goals he scored last year. Same way, Martinelli was never going to maintain an Odegaard the amount of goals they scored 2 seasons ago when they both got 15, 16 goals. So this is a long time coming. Arsenal fans should have seen this. Some have, but and with regards to your question, can Arsenal get back into the title race? 100%. It's never too early. It'd be silly to write off any team at this point in the season. Let's not be silly. Now, you can look at Man City and Liverpool and say neither of them are too strong to be too far ahead of you. But it's what you do now in the January transfer window. Are you serious? Because we've never seen Arsenal be serious in the January transfer window under Arteta so far. So
can you tag me in quick? So
go ahead.
And I'm not right. I'm going to say one thing that maybe's a little bit told you so to you, Agal. That I remember doing a show with you, and by the way, there's bare told you so's on me at the moment. Trust me. So, but when I was saying that, I feel like Arteta and your board have gone too much on like I think I was actually crediting Arsenal saying defensively, the options you have defensively, and I don't just mean in defense, I also mean in like that defense. You've got like 3-4 players that can play the DM role, right? And I thought maybe Arteta was putting a bit too much emphasis on we're good up top. Let's put everything into not conceding and whatever. And you said, we're going to do that. Like you did say, that's what he was trying to do because that's the way we're going to. But it's backfired. I do think that Arsenal and City are in a very similar place right now. So I'm putting ourselves where you are. Of course, we have a better point. We want better points than you at the moment, and there's always the City have got it over the line. They know how to do it. Back into the season, they come good. All that crap, right? But where I would say is like right now, the transfer window is great. Pep's just signed. Transfer window, brilliant. But where I'm looking at it for City and Arsenal is we have eight league games before the transfer window opens, right? And for me, at the start of the season, I was thinking it was going to be Arsenal and City going at it. And I said, Arsenal must blow City away from the start of the season so that this time by February, you're not 4 points ahead of us, you're 10 points ahead of us. Because the only time in the last, I think, 8 years that anyone has won the league over City is when Liverpool did that. They won the league by January, right? You have to get that done. Now, Liverpool, that's where us and you are in the same position at the moment. We have to react now, right? International break has come probably for both of us at the right time. I haven't even thought about you lot, to be honest, bro, because I'm thinking for us, we have to react now. Like, we've
Okay,
got,
so let's shift away
but
from
as
Arsenal.
far, sorry, just as far as with Arsenal, I think there's a few things. Firstly, when you are competing mentally and physically for 2 seasons in a row to win a league, right? It can affect you, your physique, your fitness, mental, everything, yeah? And if you think about it, now all of a sudden, Arsenal going forward don't look as explosive, right? Maybe that is just because they're drained, whether it be physically or mentally. I think, secondly, when you have someone like Haaland, yeah, you can just get goals, right? When you have a game changer like Saka, you can just get goals, right? The alternative option is you have a midfielder like Odegaard, like David Silva. People can list all those type of players that they can unlock the midfield. And then if they're doing their job, multiple players, like Raheem Sterling is a great example. If you take David Silva out of that City team, Kevin De Bruyne out of that City team, Raheem Sterling does not get the numbers he got. And that's what's happened at Arsenal, that without Odegaard, all you have is Saka, right? And it's similar at City, that you either have game changers or you have a midfielder that can unlock it and then everyone pitches in. And I think you lot have just been unlucky that, and same with City, if you miss your game changer and your unlocker, yeah, it's long. And I think that's what's happened with Arsenal.
I agree. And you want to know something, Deji? I've said to you many times, we've not been playing well, but we've been getting the results. George, I don't know if you know this, but I've been very adamant that we need to get over the line, and I do agree.
Yeah.
Until we do it, we can't say anything negative. We can't say anything to actually defend that. And you're right, also, bro. But right now,
You're still in the title race, bro.
Right now, I do still believe we're in the title race. I'm not fully out of it, like Deji's saying.
I mean, if you're doing maths.
I'm putting Chelsea in the title race as well, by the way. I'm putting Chelsea in it at the moment.
You're involved. If we're using our eyes, you were not involved from the start.
You want to know something? Eye test. Man City every year seems
Chelsea,
like Man City every year it seems like eye test they've fallen off, but then they somehow turn it around. So I would expect them to do similar. And I think Arsenal last year did not look so good when you look at the eye test, and we fixed it also. So I have hope. But hey, this show's not fully about Arsenal, so let's get away from that. I just want a quick touch on that, as of course you guys know this is our Arsenal channel. We got over 214 of you guys in the chat. Do me a favor, please do hit that like button. And if you guys want a free VPN, go check it out for one day. In Infinity Shield VPN. The link is in the description, and of course you can scan the QR code. But my guys, we need to talk about one thing and one thing only first. Pep signed a new deal. Is this Thanos basically saying I'm staying and everyone's finished? What do you guys think? Now that Pep's staying, does that mean the league title still goes through Man City for as long as he's here?
No, well,
and,
this
and,
season,
and Daps, sit back. This is for the Tottenham guys that mentioned before you get into it.
Why are you asking Tottenham fans about a fucking league title? That's mad.
I don't think this actually means Pep is staying for however long the actual contract states. I think it's sort of Man City.
It's only a 1-year extension, Paul.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's 1 year. Wait, does his contract end at the end of this year?
So the contract runs out in the summer. Yeah. So this is, and it's usually around November every year that he signs an extension. So extended a year. In this, it's got a +1. Like it could be, which I never understand these +1s. It must be something financial or something, like I don't know. But I personally think, I thought he was going to go like this year. I think it would make sense, because if he stays one more year, so after this season, it'll make it 10 years in total. To me, that makes sense. And I think with Pep, one thing, if you look at Pep, he never breaks contracts. He always runs the contracts down and leaves. So I don't really know what that extra 1 year is. It's probably to appease City fans. For me, if we get 10 years out of Pep, I'm laughing my head off, bro. But
yeah,
I don't think it means he stays another 2 years. I think he stays another year and a half. The only thing I would say is that maybe he's put that in there because it does depend on how he leaves us, because he's got an extremely good, close relationship with our chairman and with Serrano, who's still there, and with everyone at the club. And I think maybe where we are at the moment, yeah, because it's pretty clear we do need to rebuild that midfield. And there's a few issues at City that are now becoming quite apparent. I don't know if maybe he's decided to stay on out of I will help you rebuild before I hand it over to someone else, because I think it might be that. And also for him and Tiki to leave at the same time wouldn't leave us in the best of places. So I think it might be that, a 1 year just to get us back in the best position and then hand over to someone.
I agree.
I don't think he's staying for much longer, bro. I don't.
George, I don't know. Do you want to speak first, George? Because
No, go for it, Dutch. Go for it.
Yeah. So look, I'm not gonna. What I don't like is to see opposition fans give Plymouth the title. You know what I mean? The truth of the matter is, Plymouth have been an absolute...
You gave it to us last season, bro. Just letting you know.
I think they've been in Tutankhamun, and in fact, in terms of their performances this year, they're akin to your club, Arsenal. Look, I actually think we've come to the end of the road with Pep, like Boys to Men. To the end of the road. And, you know, they're just trying not to let go, but it's done. You can tell by their performance. Look, I said last season they were dusty, but they were able to get it over the line.
Imagine being dusty and winning leagues.
They are worse this year. From what you have seen, they are worse this year.
I agree.
I do think that Daps makes an interesting point. Maybe Pep's realised they ain't winning Jack this year, so he's going to try and do something. He's going to try and stay an extra season just to win and then leave, because there'll be no.
I was thinking that myself, to be fair.
Imagine Pep leaving this season without a trophy.
But I was thinking that myself.
He wants to leave on a high. So for me, let's not be giving anything to Plymouth. Let's not be giving anything to Arsenal. The truth of the matter is, everyone is.
Who do you want to win?
Apart from Liverpool right now. Liverpool are the ones that we've all got to stop.
100%.
Let's not be giving Plymouth props that they haven't earned.
They won 4 league titles in a row. What the fuck?
Well, this is. Do you know what, Gal? During the international break here, I've seen like people doing it was my good friend Monts and Big Six Bants. They were doing a most overrated players. And it wasn't based, because I thought, oh, maybe it wasn't based on this season. It was based on, the last few seasons, right? And I got that by the conversations that they were having when it weren't relevant to City. So I thought, okay. And they're calling people like Ruben Diaz, Kyle Walker, Erling Haaland. They're trying to get them in most overrated. Now, I thought to myself, you know what? I can hear, I'm not, by the way, a big Ruben Diaz fan at the moment, because I think Ruben Diaz first season, unbelievable. Since then, he hasn't kicked on, right? He's dropped off. And by the way, it's fine for him to drop off, but still Ruben Diaz, a stat for you, Ruben Diaz didn't play our last 2 league games. We lost them both. Before that, we won all of our league games, I think, and drew 1. So Ruben Diaz is not a shit defender, yeah? But I hear it that his first season, he got put on a pedestal, yeah? And then, therefore, you judge him at that pedestal. And since then, Ruben Diaz has not been. But he's still a damn good defender, yeah? But people like to do this overrated shit. Now, how can you possibly call Kyle Walker, yeah, a player that has, since he's been at City did not win any trophies till Walker joined them, right? Walker has won however many trophies.
You did.
But 1 second, how does this correlate with Pep staying?
No. Because the whole overrated thing, that if someone is repeatedly winning trophies, yeah, Kyle Walker this season dropped off massively. But he's not overrated. Kyle Walker is rated the way a 34-year-old winner should be rated. Like, again, if people ask me questions about Walker, I think Walker's best seasons were at Tottenham, not at City. But you can't knock a player that has been solid for 10 fucking years and won that many trophies. He's rated at that level because he's there. Now, hold on. Let me move back now.
One second. We can't move back now. You've moved on.
Oh,
this is where we need to stay now, because I was going to go to Tottenham, but before I go anywhere, if we're going to talk about overrated, people are talking about Phil Foden. They're not talking about
your favorite subject, bro. And here's the thing, bro.
This is a gal's favorite subject, He loves it.
This is a thing, bro. And again, I can be real with you.
Sparkling eyes.
My 6 best friends I'm going on holiday with, yeah, they're all Arsenal fans. So these conversations are very normal to me, yeah. And what I've said to them is, if you, man, want to say Phil Foden is a systematic player, yeah, that only suits the Manchester City system, I'll say abso-fucking-lutely, because he's come through a City academy from very young that all he has been taught is the Manchester City system. For me, he stinks for England. I can't defend him no more. Now, I could say that at times I've seen him try and drop deeper and impact the game more, but I'm not here to defend Foden for anyone else. And I'll tell you now.
Is he?
Hold on, bro. Let me finish. I'll tell you. Last season, he got the props last season because he fucking deserved it last season. Yeah, last season, bro. Without De Bruyne, he was coming in and winning games for us. This season, when you started knocking him this season, I said, Igal, the guy's hardly played, so don't say the guy's been poor. However, the last 4 or 5 games when we have had Foden, he hasn't stepped the fuck up. And he needs to step the fuck up. So I'm not here. Like, if I'm talking over the last couple of years, I think Saka's overall been better than Foden. Yeah, right? But we can't lie. Last season, Foden was fucking clutch for City. He was. That's why he won Player of the Season.
I think Rodri should have won Player of the Season.
I think Rodri should, not last season, the season before.
I also think Premier League Player of the Season.
Player of the Season based on what
Phil Foden. What is the player that sticks out as the person who shouldn't be there?
Player of the season based on what metric are we using?
Hold on, can I just say something?
I'm judging him. I'm comparing him to Ronaldo. I'm comparing him to Hazard. I'm comparing him to Bale.
Hold on. No. Igal, you can't do that because hold on. Igal, because Igal, 1 sec. You can't do. I'm comparing him to list them because this is
I'm comparing him to other.
Bro, let me land. Recently, yeah, but bro. I hear you, but those seasons, were better seasons. That's like saying at the moment, I've said recently, I think Liverpool have been the best team in the Premier League, and people go, but they haven't been that good. That doesn't matter. I'm not saying Liverpool are prime Barcelona. I'm saying they're the best team in the Premier League. Now, everyone said at the start of last season, with De Bruyne missing and with certain players not about for City, Foden needs to step up for City. Last season, Foden stepped up for City, and I'm not even talking numbers, in every single way, was winning us important games, right? So I'm not saying he was the best player last season, but it is judged like that. Remember when Hazard beat Sanchez to the Player of the Season, because ultimately Hazard was doing it for the team that won the Premier League, because there's that slight little bit more of pressure. So Foden last season had every right to be there. Predominantly, I wouldn't put him there.
It's pretty much every year it goes to a player that plays in the winning team, and ultimately that's the player that led their team to win that championship. Foden last year, I say forget all the agendas. I don't care about the agendas. He was bona fide the best player in the league. You have to look at when City went on their run, they was winning streak. He was scoring how many of the winning goals? Exactly. When there was those games when it's 1-0 down and they need to score 2 goals in the last 15 minutes, Foden's getting a goal and an assist. Like, Foden was key. Even Rodri come out and said, without Foden, we're not winning these games last season. Like, he was the key man. You can't take nothing away from him. If you want to judge his performances this year, everyone can look at and say it's not been good enough. It generally has.
I'm here saying it, bro.
When you're a player that sets a level and then you go next year, it's hard to maintain a level with that player.
This is what I'm going to say. Let's wait and see, and we'll judge Foden once we have a larger sample size and we're later in the season.
We have a 7-8 year sample size, though. This isn't
I understand. I'm not gonna write it. I'm not writing him off. I'm just simply saying I'm judging him at a higher standard. And to start the season, he has not lived up to it yet.
But he hasn't. I agree with you on that.
But we need to move on because we're only.
I do agree with you on that, Igal. He's like I said on Ruben Diaz, that if you put yourself, and we've all done it with Trent, we've done it with so many players, right? And now we're doing it with Cole Palmer, all of us, right? Yes. We judge Cole Palmer, we've put him on this pedestal, and now therefore we expect you to deliver certain things. One of the things is big games. And that's where with Saka, you go, do you know what? Like, and this is where I'm being honest with you. Who's a better technical footballer? I will always say Foden. But and last season, I think Foden was better. If we're looking at the last 4 seasons, I'll probably say Saka has been better overall than Foden over the last 4 seasons, right? But last season, to try and downplay what he did last season based on this season, is just irrelevant.
You know what? Let's talk about Tottenham now quickly. Tottenham have openly spoken about their stance on sacking Ange ahead of the Man City game, and they've given his utmost support. The Lily Whites have basically gone out and said that they're not interested in moving on from Ange, and they have the utmost confidence in him. So, how are you guys feeling? Do you guys think his job is actually safe? Because I feel
sorry, are you saying the board's backed him?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Where did you see this? I haven't seen this. Just me saying.
I seen Give Me Sports say that this was the exact quote. I don't think there's a conversation yet about Ange Postecoglou ending his Spurs tenure. This is a journalist talking about it, because he believes that the hierarchy, believe in the hierarchy and the new project. So there's a belief in Ange and the new project. So they don't see anything happening soon because a lot of the Spurs fans are underwhelmed by Ange Postecoglou's start to the season.
Yeah, understandably. I mean, me and Deji have had a speak about that on my channel as well, about how many of the different Spurs fans, we all have different opinions right now. I'm one of similar to the board. I back Ange, and I think Ange is the man to take us forward. And I would, at the same time as saying that, I acknowledge that the start of the season's not been good enough. I think going back to last year, you look at how he started, it was amazing. Some people probably had the misconception that, oh, it's going to be great like that this year again. Not every season starts great. It's a 38-game year. I think people need to understand it's going to take time for us to pick up some speed this season. I think our team will get better. But understandably, yet again, Tottenham have had one of the most injuries this season. I think if you actually look at the amount of injuries, Tottenham's at top of the Premier League injury list right now. We're going to be going into this game potentially with no centre-backs because Van de Ven's been confirmed as out until at least mid-December. And Romero, we don't know whether he's going to come back. Yeah, mid-December. He's gone. And they said he's back in training about a few weeks away.
A month.
And then Romero obviously got injured on international duty. So for me, it's one of those ones where people need to give Ange some, give him a little bit of a break. Let him get back his best team, as well as we probably need to invest a bit more in January to see.
Wait, who's starting then? If you have no Romero, no Van de Ven,
Houston and Davies, I think that are going to come in at the back. I think we have to see if Romero is going to be starting. But to be honest, we went to the Etihad last year with no centre backs. No, Davies.
You lost.
No wonder Deji's quiet.
We drew that game. We drew.
No wonder Deji's quiet, George. He knows.
Yeah.
No Van de Ven, no.
Was it 3-3? Was it 3-3?
It was 3-3. It was 3-3. We come back.
It was the season before that you were 2-0 up, and then we came back in.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Guys, did you guys hear what he just said?
What?
He said they have no Van de Ven, they have no Romero, and they're gonna have
to.
But
you know what? I'm not worried about that, guy. I'll be honest. Because Spurs play their best football when they're under no pressure. When you've got a big game like this, no pressure, and it's just like, oh, no one expects Spurs to win. We go into these games where all the fans are probably going to say, yeah, Spurs, we don't need to do nothing. We're at the Etihad, no centre backs. Everyone's going to write.
But that isn't how you view it. That isn't how. I was going to ask you two quick.
One second. I still need to hear Deji's take on Ange before we go on to the game. Deji. Ange, are you backing him like the board and George? Or
what is it this week?
Look, I'm going to be brutally honest. I do hope. Look, I enjoy Ange ball. I do. I prefer it to Conte ball. I prefer it to Mourinho ball. And actually, I think he's such a nice bloke that I hope he's successful at my club. The problem is we've lost too many games already this season for me to say that I've got patience and I've got time. The only thing
you have, as a Tottenham fan, you have, to be fair.
The reason why I'm quiet at the moment is because I've written off any hopes that we're going to get in the top 6 in the Prem. So for me, I could give a damn what happens.
Written off?
I don't care what happens.
Are you Ange out?
Hold on, you've written off
me,
top 6?
I've written off getting in the top 10, to be honest with you.
Are you Ange out?
You're smoking budge.
Tottenham are on course to get in 19 L's, and the 6th L will be this weekend against City simply because we don't have the players. And I don't know how these group of players will perform against Fulham. And I don't know how these group of players will perform away to Bournemouth. So for me, I've got my eye on the treble instead. So don't ask me about the Premier League.
But you care about these trophies all of a sudden. These ones you don't care about, you now care about.
I don't look. The reason why
how did that turn from 10th to treble?
Because it's Deji. Because it's fucking Deji. That's why.
You can see why I don't give a damn about. We need to win a treble. For me,
can I just say,
do a double or a treble, I'll be happy. But finishing 10th with the Carabao Cup or below, and with the Carabao Cup is not good enough, and he deserves to be sent straight to Sydney on Qantas Airlines. So for me, I'm indifferent. I'm not happy with our performance in the league, but I will accept and appreciate that Postecoglou can save his rascal if he does the double, in my opinion. But
So,
winning the Carabao Cup ain't going to do it.
Deji, you mentioned, and I'm going back to what George said, George, the result last season. If you remember, I know you will, George, last season going into the game at the Etihad, Tottenham were fucking battered injury-wise, yeah? Like, people thought City were going to roll you man over, yeah? Can you remember that?
I think it was the game after Chelsea as well.
Bro,
I think we had Chelsea and then City.
you were sparse.
No Maddison, no Van de Ven, no Romero.
Bare players out, yeah? It was, you had a period at the last season where you had a lot of people out. And I think when you played us, maybe one or two had come back, but you were sparse, yeah? And it was, I think the thing with City and Tottenham, yeah, is you just never fucking know. And this has come, like, you got to remember, in City's come up before, in fact, Mark Hughes times, it was us and Tottenham that were going for the Europa. I don't know if it's Europa then, but it was City and Tottenham that were going
Champions League.
Yeah, you got it one season, then we got it. But then after that, we've even had it in the Champions League where you man knocked us out of the Champions League. There's been this little City Tottenham thing, and like
they're your bogey team.
Yeah, I mean, people say, I swear most clubs seem to have 100 bogey teams, but with us in Tottenham, it is like, I'll be honest, last season when I saw we had to win at their ground, I was like, it's done. We ain't winning the league because it's Tottenham. Like, it is a bogey team. We
enjoy playing you, don't like. We enjoy, it's a day out for us, our day out. Or we do like to be.
And even I remember the game we had against you at the Etihad 2 seasons ago. It was a Thursday night in January, yeah, and it was snowing, yeah, and fucking
that was a good game.
Bro, right, so we were 2-0 down at half time, yeah, and that was where at that point we were going through a bad run of games, and the first half. You lot went 2. We looked all right, and then we were in really bad run. Then we went 2-0 down.
Was that a Wednesday or a Thursday game?
No, it was a Thursday, bro. 100% Thursday, and it was something like a
3-2 by 55th minute.
Yeah, and it was
Mahrez, right?
Bro, Mahrez, yeah, it was Mahrez, and it was something like a 7:30 kickoff because I had to get a train straight from work, run to the ground to get there, yeah, and at the end of the game. Pep got asked, like, oh, great second half. And I remember Pep saying, yeah, it was. But I need to speak to a lot of my senior players and work out if they have desire, if they want to win this league. Because that type of performance, yeah, in the first half is not acceptable. Now, I think we're in a similar position coming into this game that we must win this game, by the way. Like, this is a must fucking win for us. And Igal, I think us and City and you lot are in a very similar position because we've got Liverpool away next game, right?
Yeah.
I hope for a point at Anfield. I hope for a point. I'll be real, bro. The only time we beat them was the season they'd already won.
You know, the thing is, though, Daps, this game has come for the perfect time for you and the worst time for us. Because, like I said,
I hear you. I didn't know about your injuries, bro. But
yeah, that's the thing where you guys had all your injuries sort of semi coming back. The international break is where all your players were going to come back, rest up, and then train for this first game back. Whereas our ones, like all of our players, has got further injuries. Some of them have got worse. Odegaard's had surgery, so he's now out for the rest of the year.
But the Van de Ven one's huge as well. The Van de Ven against us is massive because
one second.
We both play high.
I think it's the most Spursy thing to do, to lose to Crystal Palace, to lose away to lose at home to Ipswich, and then go and get something away from Man City.
No, 100%. And that was my point earlier. It would be very Spursy to turn up and get a point at the Etihad. But I do think, if I'm being honest, that this City team that they've got coming back, they're very hungry. They've got a team where they're very their first team players, the likes of De Bruyne. As you said, the likes of Diaz. These are the players that have took them over the line.
Grealish. Bro, I'll tell you now, Grealish, yeah. I don't know if it'll ever. Grealish has got a lot to prove, not just to the football world. Right now, Grealish has so much.
I've been seeing the rumors. Apparently, Grealish, like, he's been fancying his way over in North London. I don't know.
Bro, listen, I can't. Bro,
what?
Igal, you know I have always gone with the no. Grealish is happy. Everything's good at City. I'm telling you now, yeah, like shit's happened. I can't say it because but there's like he's out of favour at City. big time.
No, that's you can tell massively.
Like, bro, done with him. I heard, done with him. See, and it's deeper than like it's some deep.
Is it personal issues or is it
personal issues?
now?
Yeah, personal issues. No, personal issues. But
Grealish drew him out, and rightly so. I don't like.
No, not rightly so, bro. Pep has drawn Grealish out. Trust me, shit off the pitch. Like,
okay.
But we need. But the truth is, right? We need Grealish, yeah, because at the moment, people will say Rodri FC, we're missing Rodri. We are, right? And it's a knock-on effect, right? If you have wingers that hold on to the ball, you're less likely to be hit on the transition, right? Well, recently we ain't had Grealish who holds on to the ball and makes sure we don't lose the ball. So we have wingers that are a bit more direct. We've got Doku, who we know likes to be direct. Savio, who in the words of Deji, is currently twerking for a goal so badly that his decision-making is out the window and he just wants to shoot all the time. We're losing the ball. We're being hit on the transition. No Rodri to break up the transition. No legs in Gundogan. And then all of a sudden, we've had no defense. Now, we're playing another team that are good on the transition. This is the thing, yeah? So, this is where we need Diaz back. We need Stones back. We need Grealish back. We need all these players back. And we need Pep to have had the conversation with this City team that usually happens probably in January or February, where it's how much do you want this league? Because at the moment, I'll be real, I ain't seen no desire for the first time in a while. I ain't seen no desire in this City team at all. Like, I'm looking at it going, who's City's best player this season? Probably Vardiel.
No, another thing I was going to say, just really quickly, Gal, yeah, just on the game. I just wanted to say one thing I was going to say about City, where you guys, especially in the transition, I've noticed recently is Rico Lewis. I feel like I really like Rico Lewis. But defensively, he leaves so much space open and behind. He's not really a defender, and he's always coming in. He's good in that sort of central midfield, that deep line, like say box to box role. But I feel like if you guys play him again, like we saw in the Carabao Cup game, he's going to leave so much space for Werner to play in behind. And obviously, we know Timu Werner. We already know what's going to happen in front of goal, but you don't want to keep giving opportunities.
You man have cooked him before. You man have cooked Rico Lewis. Admittedly, it was 2 years before. But look, Rico's a 20-year-old that has come through the academy playing as a central midfielder. He's a box to box, right?
Yeah,
he can do a job for City when City are at their best, yeah, when all of a sudden your role is not so much of a defender. Your role is to sit in the middle of the park and be a midfielder, right? So, do you know what? It's probably very similar to Zinchenko. That Zinchenko, when Arsenal are at their best and he can sit in the middle of the pitch, great. When all of a sudden you're asked to defend and you're a midfielder, it's a bit different. And that's the truth with Rico Lewis. So, but I think this game's massive because for going back to us and Arsenal, both of us, this isn't just about the 3 points. This is about changing our dressing rooms because, well, you've seen Arteta interviews, yeah? We know how Pep is from all the documentaries. It's very easy to talk to your players in a certain way when you're winning every week. Facts. When you're losing 4 in a row, it hurts. The conversations are different and you piss people off, right? And then people don't want to play for you. And so both our clubs this weekend, they're must wins. Tottenham as well.
Must win.
Tottenham probably it's a one.
I'm not sure it's a must win for us, though.
It's a must win for Arsenal. What are you talking about?
City away.
I think
it is a must win for Arsenal, 100%. But you
will win. What are you talking about?
No, he's talking about
Arsenal, but for Spurs, I don't think this weekend's a must win for us.
No, Arsenal need a Spurs favour yet again. Arsenal relying on Spurs giving them a favour over at City.
One second.
Arsenal should be focusing
we just need to win a game, bro. We just need to win a game. Forget about Tottenham. We just need to win a goddamn game. But before we go any further, I just want to say, I think Ange gets sacked before January. I genuinely do.
If Tottenham lose their next 3 games, he's gone.
I think Ange is actually sitting in a dressing room where some of the players might not trust him. I
feel like it's going overboard though at the moment because a lot of people don't understand that Spurs bought into the Ange project that this is actually going to take 3 or 4 years. We got away from Conte, Mourinho, Nuno because we wanted to give a manager time. He's only been here for literally 16, 17 months. It's not even been that long, barely a year and a half.
No, but I already feel like your players. But George, I'm hearing reports your players are already giving up on him.
That's cap. I don't think. I think the only players that people might think that he's actually fallen out with, maybe Maddison. I think that's been very clear with his minutes and his game time. But to be honest, it's understandable. Maddison's not putting in performances on the pitch.
100.
All the fans will sit there and say Maddison's not been good enough. It's not like he's commanding his role in the team. And Kulusevski's literally performing like one of the best players in the league right now. So
Kulusevski in that position is better than Maddison. Simple and short.
Yeah.
Always has been, always will be. Like, it's just that Maddison.
You know, we were talking about overrated. Maddison's slightly overrated.
1,000,000%.
Yeah, I would agree. I think
he's spoken about like he's Odegaard and Bruno Fernandes. He's not even Bruno.
I feel like he was spoken about that at Leicester because people didn't watch Leicester consistently. So, of course, when you see the numbers, he's putting up Odegaard and Bruno numbers. It matches up. But now you're seeing him at Tottenham at a bigger club where people are actually paying attention weekly. You're seeing his performance levels aren't that good. I could probably sit here and say I've seen more bad games in a Spurs shirt for Maddison than good ones. Last year, he was good for about the first 10 or 15. But after that, he had a bad 6 months. And then this season, he's been decent. I'd say he's had 3 or 4 good performances, but outside of that, he's just been a passenger in the team, which he was signed to be an X-Factor player.
One second, guys. We're gonna have to wrap up. We're gonna have to wrap up in 4 minutes. So I'm just gonna say before we give our predictions, Deji, did you agree with me on the Ange take? Do you think Ange will actually get sacked before January?
I'm not sure. If he loses the next 3 games, he will. Yeah.
I don't think
Are you Ange out, bro? On the real?
Yeah, he is.
I'm not happy with Ange.
Okay,
not
so you're on the fence.
He's doing a cast. He's flip-flopping all over the place.
Deji, you give me your predictions already because you already told us what you think the result's going to be.
Yeah, I've got City to win 3-0.
3-0. Wow.
I'll have that. Fuck me. I'll take that to the
All right, George, what are you saying before we go to Daps?
Dragusin and Davies at the back is double D, man. I'll probably say 2-0 City. I'm going to be honest.
You guys don't see yourself scoring.
No, as much as I do have hope, I have hope that Tottenham will do something. I think we're going to put a lot of pressure on City in the game. I just don't think we're going to score goals. I feel like we're going to be poor in front of the line. City are going to get over it, and this is going to be sort of that win that rejuvenates the team. I've just got a feeling it's home as well for them, and it comes at a good time where Spurs just aren't in a good place with our team.
You guys are deflated, bro. Yeah, you're deflated.
So I guess I am as well. Firstly, it just gives me a little bit of vibes after doing this show of what George has said, of last season, where I thought, we're going to beat Spurs because Spurs were coming depleted, and then Spurs actually turned up and put in one hell of a performance. Secondly, Kulusevski and Son, if those two start, I'll be more worried. If Maddison starts over Kulusevski or Kulusevski gets pushed into a different position, I'll be happy because Kulusevski and Son together cook. But I'm not going to give a prediction, but I'm going to say we've lost 4 in a row.
Depleted, man.
We haven't lost any of our games at home. Our 4 that we lost were all away. I'm going to say we win because we have to. Because if we don't win, then for me, I'm kind of looking at the league going. So, comes at a good time. Everyone's up for it. It's 5:30.
If you are looking at the league like that, you think we're already out of it then?
Bro, it's just at the moment, and don't get me wrong. Listen, I've been wrong on things so many years where I've said, like, do you know what? We don't look up for it this season. I don't know where other teams are dropping points. I'm doing that. Now, that doesn't mean I'm a negative City fan because I know mathematically till it's not possible, we could. But at the moment, I need to. All I ever say is, all I need is my players to show me some desire. Then I'll be like, yeah, we can do this 100%. But at the moment, I ain't seen no desire in the last 4
all
games.
I want to say is I want to see George gassed on Sunday. I want to see Deji looking like he's excited, happy, his team put in a performance. And I want to see...
You need to get your focus on.
I need... Daps, I'm sorry, you're my guy.
You need to get your focusing on the wrong... You're focusing on the wrong team. There's 2 teams you need to focus on.
Bro,
your club and Liverpool.
I need everyone to drop points.
Bro, listen, finishing above
City... drop points. I need you to drop points.
Finishing above City is not a trophy. Liverpool is currently where you need to be setting your sight on, and yourself. Bro, we're not a trophy.
I know. We all need Liverpool to drop points, but all I can say is if Tottenham get a result versus you, it might put more pressure on you. It's definitely going to put more pressure on you when you go to Anfield to try to win that game.
But bro, we ain't winning Anfield. Sorry, bro. I'm sorry. That ain't happening.
Fair enough. No. We're going to wrap it up here, though. I'm just going to say everyone's links to their channels in the description. George Durag Diaries. We got Deji Spurs, of course. He's going to be doing a watch along. George, you're going to see Durag Diaries.
I got a show today with Hamza, 7:30.
What time?
So
Oh, he'll be
7:30,
more
make it-
confident than me. He'll be more confident.
7:30, guys. Go check out Jord's channel. 7:30. He's gonna be live with Hamza. You already know that's gonna be box office right
Shameless, man.
there. Deji, you got a show coming up?
Yeah, maybe this evening. But I have to see. But maybe this evening.
Deji does not seem up for it today. And then Daps is done for the day. What you
I'm
saying?
going to chill, man. Yeah.
I don't
We'll be,
I'm
I'm gonna
be
wrap it
shows
up
on
here,
the
guys.
tomorrow, but love
Please
having
do-
us on.
Please
Love that.
please do like the video. This has been a great stream. We have over 254 of you guys in the chat. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't already done so. And we're out of here, people. Leave a comment. And I'm not gonna lie, my man made me cry today. That was hilarious.